Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. This is the homemade ice cream episode that everyone's been waiting for. I'm Deborah Anderson and I'm here with Anna Schremmer. And what's your title, Anna?
I'm the Family Consumer Science Agent for Phillipsburg Extension District.
Very nice. So is this a class you teach also?
No, I have not taught it before, except when I did teach school. We did do the ice cream in school.
Oh, nice. I went that class. So this is a family recipe of yours, right?
Yes, it's an old-time family recipe. My grandmother made it, my mom made it, and passed it on down. So now you're getting the recipe.
Very good. Let's get started on it.
Okay, the first thing we need to do is measure out the sugar, and it's a cup and a quarter. Now, if you're making, we're making vanilla today, but if you're making chocolate, this recipe calls for chocolate syrup. You may want to cut that down to just a cup of sugar because the syrup would have a lot of sugar in it or sweetness. But a cup and a quarter of sugar. And then we need 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And again, you need to add the cornstarch to the sugar and then stir it really well, because if you don't, or if you just add cornstarch to your liquid, you'll have lumps. And
now, when we made pies once before, you had us use clear gel instead of cornstarch, but this time this is better, or could you use clear gel too?
Clear gel is made basically for pies.
Okay.
For thickening the pie filling. But you could go ahead and, if you didn't have any other clear cornstarch in the house, clear gel would work, but cornstarch works really well. What we've started to do is make a custard so it cooks the eggs. We need to make sure we cook the eggs because of the salmonella bacteria, and we don't want to get sick.
So this will be a custard?
Yes, this will be a custard.
This is going to be awesome.
And eggs do quite a bit in ice cream. If you've ever eaten ice cream that melts really quickly, probably did not have any eggs in there, because eggs act as a binder or emulsifier. It holds things together. We've already have done 4 eggs, but we're going to break out 2 more. It's important that you break an egg into a custard cup, and that way if you get any shell, it's easier to get it out. And sometimes you may end up with an egg that could be rotten, so you want to...
I did good.
Yes, looks good. So you want to make sure you always break it out into another dish. Then while you beat them really well, you want to beat them really well. We'll talk a little bit more about the egg. And besides being an emulsifier or a binder, there's also flavor there. It gives color. And eggs are very nutritious. Ice cream is a relatively nutritious food.
That's what we need to know and want to hear.
It changes when you start to add lots of ingredients, such as your chocolate syrup. When it has so much sugar in it, that kind of reduces the nutrient level of it. When you add candy bars to it, things like that, that changes the nutrient level. But ice cream on its own, it's relatively healthy if it's vanilla. And then you can make a difference by how much cream you add, what type of cream you add, and also the milk.
Do you think that's good?
I think that looks pretty good. And
pour it in?
You can pour that in. Don't mix it yet.
Let me make a little hole for it.
Okay. And then I'm one that does not like to wash too many dishes, and so we're going to reuse this measuring cup, measure our milk in it. That also washes out the rest of the egg mixture. And
I do the same thing.
So, and then you don't have to wash 2.
Wow, a lot. 4 cups?
So,
almost?
Almost 4 cups.
Pour it in?
Pour it in, and then we're ready to mix.
Ooh, that is watery. Let's see how this turns out. Now I have to mix it.
Okay, now go ahead and mix it.
my arms. I won't feel bad about using this whisk because when we grew up and made homemade ice cream, my mom had a hand crank. So she worked a lot harder than this. So I will not feel so bad.
Yes, most of the ice cream makers you buy now are electric, and I think it's specifically because people got tired of hand cranking.
We had to sit on a blanket to hold the inside still, so that's how we helped.
There's a little bit down here. If you
Oh, okay, thanks.
One nice thing about glass bowls is you can see if you get everything mixed, and you want to make sure you mix it well. Now you can do this on the stove top, or you can do this in the microwave. I prefer microwave because you're less likely to burn it.
Oh, good deal.
So milk and egg scorches real easy. I think there's still some right down here.
Are you kidding?
Scorches real easy, so that's why I like using the microwave. Now we start cooking it in the microwave at 3 minutes, then we will take it out, stir it, and then we'll go to 2 minutes and continue at 2 minutes a couple of times, and then we will go 1 minute. You don't want to overcook it. You want to just basically heat the eggs to 160 degrees.
So they're not cooked, they're just warmed, tempered maybe?
They will be cooked,
Oh,
but it will be, if you cook it too fast, you'll have lumps. So
Yeah,
you don't want to do that. So right now we'll put it in the microwave and cook it for 3 minutes.
Why don't we go ahead and take a break while the microwave runs, and we'll be back when we're ready to add more stuff.
Make a difficult choice an easy one with Cedar View Assisted Living's knowledgeable and caring staff. Your loved one will be professionally taken care of as they transition into their new community. With movies, holiday parties, planned exercises, and games, residents will have opportunities every day to enjoy their time at Cedar View. Multiple room styles are available, ensuring a just right fit for your loved one. Come see Cedar View Assisted Living for yourself next to Sternberg Museum. The care you need, the home you want.
The Hayes Public Library isn't just for books anymore. Break through your book barriers and see what all the HPL has to offer. Enjoy our free programs like computer classes, music concerts, cooking sessions, and more. Browse our collection of DVDs, CDs, and other media for free checkouts. Access your favorite titles online with the Sunflower E-Library and take your media on the go with the Hoopla app. Visit www.hayespublib.org and discover what the Hayes Public Library has to offer.
Welcome back to Local Flavor and our homemade ice cream episode. When we left, we were putting our mixture into the microwave to cook the pudding or custard down to a thickness. And on the way, we remembered to put in the salt that you'll see on the recipe. So we didn't put it in for you, but it is in there now. And this is a stronger microwave, you said, than you have at home. So
Yes, it only took about 7 minutes to thicken it, and you can see it's not quite like pudding, but it is it has thickened. We do need to check the temperature because we want to make sure the egg has gotten up to 160 degrees, and then that way we know it is safe to eat and there is no salmonella present.
And she did not cook 7 minutes all at once. It was like 3 minutes, then 2 minutes, then 1 minute at a time. So she made sure not to overcook it. Well, we might.
It's been sitting here for just a little bit, so
It's
I
going.
think, yeah, it's there, I believe. So we have got it to 160 degrees, and the egg is cooked. And now, have you ever had pudding when it has hard things on top? Is it good?
Yeah, the skin. I didn't want you to know I tasted it.
To prevent that, you use plastic wrap, saran wrap, and you put it on your pudding, and you put it right down on top of the actual pudding. And that keeps it from getting that hard skin, and that way you don't waste any of this good mixture. Now, usually when I make my custard, I make it the night before because I know it's a birthday and we're making homemade ice cream for, or 4th of July, or sometimes just because we want homemade ice cream, but we kind of know it's not a spur of the moment, that we go ahead and make it the night before, put it in the refrigerator and let it cool. It has to be completely cool before you put your cream and milk in and before you churn it, because if you start off with a hot mixture, it's going to take a long time for your ice cream to actually freeze. So
I'll go put this in the fridge then.
okay.
There we go. This is one we already chilled.
Yes, and then you just take off the plastic wrap, and then you're ready to stir.
Stir it again.
Stir it again.
Ooh, it looks like pudding.
It
It looks
nice
like nice
and-
vanilla pudding. If we were making chocolate, would we have put the chocolate in already?
Okay, now is when you would you'd open your can of chocolate syrup, and then you'd go ahead and put that in.
Because
stir
we
it
haven't
in.
put vanilla flavoring in yet.
Not yet.
If we made it chocolate, do we skip the vanilla or just it's an addition?
I would go ahead and add some vanilla. You wouldn't add as much. I'd probably add a teaspoon because it just kind of brings out that chocolate. Also, you would add like a fourth of a teaspoon of salt, because
Is this in
more
addition?
to
Okay.
what you had, and that just also brings out some of the flavor. And somewhere I've lost my tablespoon. I thought I had it here. I think it's in the sink.
It's
There we
not one
go.
of these.
We can use one of those.
Three
This
of
one.
those, right?
Right. 3 teaspoons make a tablespoon. So we're ready to
I lose
add
my
vanilla.
tablespoon all the time, so I actually knew that one.
There's 1, 2. Now, this is pure vanilla, so you want to use a tablespoon, and since this is just vanilla ice cream. Now, if you're using imitation vanilla, you may want to add more, taste it, and add more, because sometimes imitation vanilla does not have the same type of flavoring.
Do you want to know what kind my mom put in every time? Mexican vanilla.
Oh.
It tastes a lot different.
Yes, yes, it does.
I can't describe how it's different. Maybe more cinnamony or something, but you go, oh yeah, that's Mexican vanilla.
You could, if you wanted to make lemon, you could use lemon extract.
Instead or in addition?
Instead, some people like to put a little bit of almond flavoring in. Almond flavoring goes a long ways, so you may want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond.
That's what kind you'd want with your wedding cake.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, now we're adding cream, and you add 4 cups of cream. This happens to be half and half. You can use half and half if you want to reduce some of the calories, or you can use all cream, or if you really want to watch your calories, you can use milk. And you can even use the different types of milk. This is whole milk, and it has 3% fat, I believe. And then if you had 2% milk, that would have the 2% fat in it, and skim milk would have no fat. So if you're trying to watch or need to watch your fat content, you can use the different types.
Will it affect how creamy it is?
Yes. Your fat in your eggs make it creamy. And so if you wanted it really creamy, you would need to have cream. Add your heavy cream to it and your whole milk.
Oh, this looks like a lot. Oh, ice cream.
If you're diabetic, I do have a diabetic recipe. My dad became diabetic in his later years. We milked milk cows, so we always had lots of cream and made ice cream quite often. We bought the pudding that is sugar-free pudding, and so we made that for our base, and then we used pineapple juice for the sugar. And so that's another way you can do ice cream too, and those that are diabetic can indulge a little bit too. Now I always let my carton set a little bit, then I pour more out. I hate to waste, so that's kind of a thing that I have done. Okay, now we're ready to fill
This canister?
yes.
Oh boy. I'm nervous we'll spill it. How are we going to do this? Did you want to use that little
You
pitcher?
can use the pitcher.
This one over here?
That's got egg in it.
Because I think this would be a mess if I try to pick this big thing up. Very good.
Okay. Just dip this in.
Will this all fit?
It may not. This is a small canister, but this will fill like a 4-quart or even a.
What if it doesn't fit? Make some more tomorrow? Can you keep this in the fridge again?
Yes. One of the things that I have, because my daughter and I, we don't need a whole big canister. So quite often I have purchased one of those small ones that have gel in it, and I just keep that in my freezer, and then you can go ahead and freeze.
Oh, like
if
for
you
your
have it
KitchenAid?
extra.
I have that too. It is a small batch of ice cream, very small.
Yes. And there should be a little line there. I think I'm up to it.
I didn't see a line. Is it on the batter? The beater?
I think it's up to that line. If you don't see it, then I probably passed it.
Oh, well.
And that's about. So we do have a little bit that we can churn a little later. But yes, this saves. If you don't have a small churn, you can also just put it in a bowl and put it in the freezer. And then every 15 minutes for a while, go in and stir it.
Oh, to keep it from getting too hard. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this in here, right?
Yes.
This looks old school, man, with this little
Yes.
enamel pot. Oh, you do it.
This
It's
is
too hard for me.
This is my freezer I've had for years and have used it lots. Yesterday, to make sure it was ready to go. If your ice cream freezers, if you have a wood canister and you haven't used it all winter, you need to get it out, fill it with water, and see if it leaks. And if it does, then fill your sink with water, fill it with water, and let it absorb because because otherwise it will leak.
Okay, so you're just basically waterlogging
Right.
making the wood stretch. I'm going to plug it in, I found.
Okay, not yet.
Okay.
Because it will automatically start, and we got to get it put on first.
Oh, okay. No switch on this one.
Yeah, it's an old one. I think I got this for a wedding gift, so.
Well, it's
okay.
lasted a long time.
Okay, now you want it to start and churn before you add your ice and your salt, because otherwise it will start to freeze, and it'll freeze on your sides of your canister, and then that it will actually stop it. So you want to let it start to freeze first.
Okay.
And we are ready for ice. We have a little pitcher here.
We use the scoop.
Yeah, we can use that cup.
Start with ice, right?
You want to put ice. You want to put about a layer of a couple of inches.
Now, do I have to go around or is it stirring around?
We probably need to go around.
I'm glad it has a lid, otherwise it'd be full of ice. Hey, what is that? Have you ever gone someplace and gotten ice cream where there's ice crystals in it?
Yes.
What causes that?
Usually that has thawed and then it's been refrozen.
I think I got maybe a little much.
Okay, now
So,
we need to add salt.
How much?
And you want to put a nice layer of salt on. Actually, you'll probably use about, we may need to open this up a little more. You'll probably use about a cup and a half of salt.
On per layer or for the whole thing?
For the whole thing. Now, the more salt you have, the faster it will freeze, but that doesn't mean you want to overdo the salt either. So it needs to churn, because the churning of it makes it creamier. Okay, there's a nice opening.
When I was little, our salt didn't look, this is nice, clean salt. Ours was like, it looked freshly dug. It was gray. It was like a dirt in it. Oh, I'm not really measuring. I hope this is going to be okay.
Now what the salt does is it actually makes the ice colder. It melts it and makes it colder. So if you don't put enough salt in, it won't melt it enough, and the temperature is actually lowered about, ice freezes at 32 degrees, and so we need to add more salt.
More salt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ice freezes at 32, so it actually lowers it probably down close to 22 degrees, and also as it melts, the water covers your canisters, so it causes the freezing to be better than if you just had ice there, because the ice is chunk. It wouldn't touch the canister completely, so that's one of the things ice in salt mixture does.
It lowers the freezing temperature or melts it faster?
Well,
Or
it lowers the freezing temperature, so it'll take the heat from the milk out and freeze it.
Okay. Well, I think let's let this churn and let's go in the other room where we can talk about it. Okay, let's have a break, and when we come back, I bet this ice cream will be done.
Nex-Tech Local 1 brings you What's Happening Now, a show dedicated to events going on in our area. If you have an event and would like to be a part of What's Happening Now, contact Jenny Leiker at 785-625-7070. Dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness are the 5 core values you can expect from All Faiths Funeral Chapel in Smith Center. At All Faiths Funeral Chapel, they consider it an honor to serve you and your family and their community. Built in 2010, their large state-of-the-art facility includes dining and reception hall to accommodate large funeral dinners, even anniversaries and weddings. They also sell customized monuments and offer pre-arranged services. All Faiths Funeral Chapel in Smith Center.
We're back with local flavor and the homemade ice cream, and we got back a little early because we wanted you to hear the difference, and the motor's really struggling to keep on beating, and so we wanted you to, it did. The motor will stop when it's done. It just can't work anymore, so I can't believe we got it just on tape. Yay, that's awesome. So this is fresh, fresh, fresh homemade ice cream. You want me to take this lid off?
Yes.
Oh, what do you want me to do with it?
Okay, we could go ahead and scoop some out and then try it.
Oh, it's super soft. Oh, look, can you show this? Look at the shininess of the scoop. Didn't that come out really good? Now, how quickly should we get this in the freezer before it starts to melt?
You can actually leave it in this ice salt mixture, because that's going to be as cold as your freezer, but it'll actually get a little harder around the outside edge. So you could go ahead and fill your bowl full, eat it, come back, get some more, and then when you're finished, go ahead and put it in the freezer. So it's insulated. Sometimes if you're having a picnic, you'd want to repack it, take it out, put new salt and ice in there, and
you just take it in this?
Just take it right in here, take the dasher out, and then you can just take the whole thing. I usually put like a throw rug over the top, and that helps hold the cold in. Mm-hmm. So
I already tasted some. I don't know if it's because I saw you make it into pudding, but it's a nice, delicious pudding flavor in here, the custard. I wonder if since we made the custard at the beginning, you know how custard at Freddy's, or it has the highest freezing temperature so it doesn't make you so cold. Will this one have it too?
Yes. Usually, and really the more fat you put in it, it seems to be not quite as cold.
Okay.
So, and we put half and half instead of the full amount of cream in it.
Well, whatever we did, it is delicioso. And you said if you were going to add in, most things you add in during
Mix
the
like
beginning.
strawberries, pineapple, chocolate, all of that would be added before you churn. If you're going to add candy bars, then chopped up candy, then you need to do that now. You can mix it in by hand.
It's really good. It's really good. I might buy an ice cream freezer. Well, thank you for joining us today on Local Flavor. Hope you have fun making your own homemade ice cream. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
This is really good.